Hey y'all, so today is Money Mondays. If you didn't know, I'm going to be coming to you every Monday with a financial topic. And today I want to talk about how you can become debt-free in 2023 through these simple or kind of simple steps, right? If you don't know, I paid off $43,000 in 22 months, and these are the steps that I used to get there. But before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. First things first, get on a budget. I know for me, before my financial journey started, I did not know how to budget. I would always say things like, oh, the budget is in my head, blah, blah, blah. And like, that's not a budget, right? I kind of like knew what I was spending. I kind of knew what I was pulling from, but not really. I didn't have any concrete numbers. A lot of times I was just hoping and praying like, Lord, please let it go through, okay? Or it should be in there, right? But no, that's not how, making your money work for you actually works. So for me, I started using an app. If y'all don't know, I did use the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps to Become Debt-Free. And one of the things that he always talks about is the EveryDollar app. So it's a free app. They have a paid version too. But I use the free app to really write out my budget. Y'all, it was so easy for me to understand. Previous to this, I tried like Excel, because Excel can do all these cool things, but I suck at Excel. Drop it in the comments and let me know if you suck at Excel too, because that is just not my ministry. But the EveryDollar app, like, it just listed everything out. It did the calculations for you, and I still use that to this day. I'm actually going to look at it after I finish recording this video. But you have to get on a written budget, like a budget that you look at every single day. Like, I'll typically check my budget in the morning, and then I'll check it like as soon as I get home as well. So you should really be engaging with your budget at least 2 times a day. Even if you didn't spend anything, get in there, look around, make sure things look copacetic. And then a second part to getting on a budget, y'all, is that you have to use cash. I know for me, I used to just be swiping my card, y'all. Oh my gosh, I used to be swiping the heck out of that debit card, swiping the plastic off of it. And that will really mess me up with budgeting, because like when you have cash and you see that cash starting to get low, it's like, okay, wait a minute, let me rewind and get myself together here. So I use cash envelopes. I do have a video for that on my channel. Make sure you check it out. I got my budgeting binder from Amazon along with the envelopes. And when I'm using the EveryDollar app to budget, I actually get a sheet of paper and then I write down the increments of cash that I'm going to pull out from the bank, and I put it in my envelopes. When I tell you, using cash has helped me so much. I know there's a lot of folks who, I don't like to carry cash or all of these things. Let me tell you, if you want to get to where you need to go as far as financially, you got to use cash. Like, budgeting is one step, but that cash envelope is the second step. The cash envelopes are really, really what helped me, to pay off my debt so quickly. So first things first, get on a budget and use cash. All right, y'all, so number 2, write out your debt. So I actually have mine right here, y'all. I keep this in my wallet because it reminds me of where I've been and where I don't want to go back to. But these are all of my debts written out. So you need to actually physically write down, pen and paper, all of your debts on a sheet of paper. I know it looks scary at first, y'all. It kind of scared me like a little too, to actually see what I owe. But once you write it down, you know what you're working with. When you keep kind of hiding from it and not wanting to write it down, it just stays like so scary and big, and then it discourages you from really starting on your journey. If you don't know all of your debts, that's okay. Pull your credit report, to make sure that what you're writing down is accurate based on your credit report. And make sure that the things on your credit report are accurate, because sometimes things do report wrong. But you have to write down your debts. I recommend, writing them down from smallest to largest. So kind of group them, because getting into my next step, you're really going to want to have a method to all of the madness. So write down your debts. So after you've written down all of your debts, you want to choose a method to actually pay off your debt. So that's why I said earlier, you want to rank these things from smallest to largest, because I would recommend that you use the debt snowball. So with the debt snowball, you rank your debts from smallest to largest. You're not worried about interest rates. You're just worried about getting those easy wins to build up that momentum within yourself. So here's a quick example. You got a $5 debt, you got a $10 debt, you got a $15 debt. You're still going to make minimum payments on all of your debts, but you're really going to attack that smallest one with everything that you got. So once you pay off that $5 debt, you roll that $5 into your next $10 debt, you pay that off, you roll that into your $15 debt, and so on and so forth. You're basically gaining that momentum. So what you're putting towards your debt every month is going to grow. Your snowball is going to get a lot of traction. I use this method. Listen, I co-signed on it. It helped me to pay off $43,000 in 22 months. But most importantly, it helped me to know that, hey, you can pay off debt. You know, when you're paying off those little medical bills or that baby credit card and you check it off your list, it feels so good and it gives you the encouragement to keep going. So I know sometimes people like to get, distracted by, well, this one has this interest rate or this one has this interest rate. Listen, I know for me personally, when I took out that debt, I wasn't worried about that interest rate. So I didn't want to all of a sudden get distracted by the interest rate, As you're paying off your debts with that debt snowball, you're going to get there, okay? So my method is use the debt snowball. So this is probably my most important tip when it comes to paying off debt this year. You gotta change your mindset. I know for me, I was of the belief, everybody's in debt. Everybody has student loans. You're always gonna be in debt. That's just a part of our, American life. And I also kind of had it in my head, that it was just going to happen like miraculously, like God was just going to pay off my debt and I wouldn't have to do anything, right? But that's not how this thing works. I had to change my mindset to say to myself, you know what? Just because everybody else is in debt doesn't mean that I have to subscribe to that. I can say that, hey, I don't want to live this way. I don't want to keep giving all my money away. I don't want to keep, living paycheck to paycheck. I really had to open my mind to think, what if I didn't have any debt? What if I made a concrete decision to actually pay off my debt despite what other people were saying? What if I made a decision to say, I'm going to change my family legacy and we're going to be the family of no debt? I really had to start, thinking that way. I had to start putting myself in the mode of debt is a no-no for me. I ain't doing it. So it is so important that you change your mindset because we've been told all these things. Debt is just shoved down our throats, y'all. Oh my gosh. You can finance a meal. My friend just told me that she was out to eat and she got the option, to finance her meal in 3 easy payments. Like, no, it is literally shoved down our throats. So I had to change my mindset to say, you know what, it's okay if everybody else wants to do that, but I'm not going to do it. And it is possible for me to pay off my debt. So that is so important. Start thinking about the things that you have been told that are not necessarily true, right? So it's not true that everybody is in debt. I ain't. So just busted that lie, think about these things and really address them. Like, is it true? Or is it just something that somebody told me and that it's been passed down from generation to generation? I would recommend opening up your mindset by getting educated. So start looking at what the people who are debt-free are doing. Are they budgeting? Are they, not going to certain places? Are they hanging in groups with one another, talking about being debt-free? Like, what are they doing? If you want to be, somewhere, you got to look at where those folks already are and how they got there. You got to talk to them. You got to engage with them. So if you have questions about my debt-free journey, definitely drop down in the comments right now. I want to answer them. But change your mindset in 2023. I want you to think about that right now. What is one thing that you're going to do to change your mindset about debt? As you're changing your mindset, the next thing to ask is, why do you want to become debt free? you really need to hone in on what your why is, because in those moments where it gets difficult, where you feel those temptations coming, where you just want to sleep because you've been working all day and night, you're going to need to really pull on your why. So what is the reason that you want to become debt free? Is it because you want to experience actually having your whole paycheck? Is it because you want to change your family tree? Is it because you want to save money to buy a house? Like, what is your why? Sometimes, like, we have to think about that. I think things become so trendy, where, oh, debt free. Yeah, I want to do that. And it's because, and I don't think it's trendy, but let's just say that it was. When we kind of get caught up in like trends and things like that, we fall off the wagon quick. So you want to make sure that you have really solidified why you want to become debt free. That may take some time. It may be a whole list of things. You may have to, just write down a whole list and keep that list with you when the going gets tough. But that is so important. Why do you want to become debt free? Drop it in the comments and let me know that. This is a tough one. I know it was for me. Delete temptation. So if you know that you are Fashion Nova's top customer, you're gonna have to cut the text messages off. You're gonna have to unsubscribe from the email list. You gotta delete temptation. So that is so important. I know, like, a big thing for everyone is food. So one way that I would delete the temptation of me going out and like grabbing something to eat was that I would eat before I left. Or I would bring like a lunch or something with me, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't like to waste food. So if I have food like with me, like, I'm not gonna not eat it so I can get something else. So you have to kind of put those little parameters in place to delete temptations, because yeah, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, when I see my favorite store say that they're doing 20% off, or when I see they got a BOGO this, it gets a little tempting, y'all. It gets real tempting. So you kind of gotta already have that plan in place to delete those temptations. You may have an accountability partner, that you call when the going gets tough, like, girl, you seen that sale? I need you to talk some sense into me because I'm not gonna make it. So what, are you going to put in place to delete those temptations? And it's important to do that as you're writing down your debts and you see like where the blockade of debt is. Go ahead and unsubscribe, cut off the text, do whatever you need to do, but you gotta delete the temptations because they will come. Okay, they'll come even harder on your debt-free journey. You thought you couldn't resist before then, but once you start getting on the right path, those things pop up just even more. But as you stay on the path, it'll be, like second nature. I'm not doing that. I ain't eating out. I ain't going there. Not doing this, but you have to kind of put those things in place now. Okay, y'all. So here's my last tip. It's a marathon, not a race. Now, for me personally, I was very gazelle intense, meaning that I wanted to get this thing done quick and over with. And I understand that some people, they really have to get a pace about themselves before they get to that point, especially our six-figure debt people. So it's important for you to really, get into these good financial habits and to not, just fall all the way off the wagon once you mess up. If you mess up, it's okay. Dust yourself off and keep going. It's very important for us to know that you're going to get it done, okay? But it is up to you to say, how quickly do you want to get it done? I know for me, I wasn't trying to, be on this journey for a long time because it's hard at certain points. So this is something that you definitely want to establish. How long do you want to be in the mode of paying off debt? I know for me, the quicker, the better, but you're going to have to establish that for yourself. So if you want to know about my debt-free journey and how I paid off $43,000 in 22 months, click the video here or here. Bye.